G'day, Stu from UAVfutures here, and today, well, I don't know what happened to my voice then, but today we're back with another Sunday question and answer video, and I do have to apologise to Trevor because I turned up yesterday ready to rock and roll. We had all our questions, stuff set up, and I charged the battery. I was ready to do the filming, and well, I left the battery at home. So I left the charge battery at home and there was an empty one in the camera. So good job, Stu. But we're back here. If you're new to the channel, what these are the Sunday question and answer videos where you guys put your questions down below, all things FPV, UAVfutures, YouTube related. Stick them in the comments down below, and then Trevor, myself, and sometimes Crash Test Cal, we get together and answer your questions. Now this week, again, I guess two big things, because Trevor's finally back, and Trevor's right into the 3D printing, so we've been doing a lot of that sort of stuff. So that's going to be going in the background as well. So if you're new to the channel and you're after professional sound quality, well, look no further, because this channel is not the one for you. We are pretty bad with our sound. But let's kick it off with the Q&As. Drop your questions down below so they can go in the running for next week. But Trevor, first things first, I want to know, where have you been, mate? People have been asking, where's Trevor? Where's Trevor? What's going on?
I've been away.
Where? You've got to give us something, mate. Come on, where have you been?
I went away to Bendigo for a week.
Yep.
Then I come back for a week and you didn't want to do anything.
Well, it was windy as.
Well, it's not my fault. And then I went away for a week again.
Yep.
Then I come back and it was windy again, wasn't it?
It's very windy.
Yeah, so we haven't been able to do much.
No, it's been killing me.
So hopefully it won't be windy tomorrow.
Yeah. All right, you ready to kick it off?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Butterfly? So this one's from Fly Nasty FPV. What are your thoughts on Butterfly?
Sounds like something you put on a bit of toast.
Okay. And Trevor's going to do a lot of classical dad jokes, granddad jokes, but yeah, what do you think of Butterfly? Do you know much about it? Have you tried it out?
No, well, I know as much as I know about it. A couple of guys on Discord have tried it. One guy had a load of trouble with it. I said, go back to Betaflight, and he's quite magically worked. So that's about as much as I know about it. I haven't tried it, but that fixed his problem, going back.
My thoughts on Butterfly, look, if it works for you, that's great. I don't mind there being a fork and people trying some different things, getting it working. I know Cal wants to test it out. Apparently, it's meant to be better handling some prop wash with some of the filters, but I don't think that most pilots are going to be able to feel the difference. I'm going to do a video on it, more of just, not an in-depth breakdown, but more of just a side-by-side comparison. And can pilots who have been flying for a while feel any difference with one on Betaflight and the exact same quad, one on Betaflight? Betaflight, Butterfly. That's, you guys know what I mean. Let's move on. GT, we need more content on your channel, only cause we care. So that one's from KCamera 1.
Yeah, look, it's definitely coming. We've started one yesterday. Hopefully finish it tomorrow.
Yeah, what happened to that one yesterday? We went to do some work yesterday. We're just having no luck, and what happened?
We needed to try this particular one on 3S and 4S, and Stu bought the 4S batteries, and
yeah, I rushed home, charged my batteries, and I was late there, came down to the field, and then gave you your batteries.
And XT60 won't plug into XT30.
No.
So we've got some adapters now, so we're right.
But do you have some stuff coming?
Yes.
All right.
Over the next few weeks, there'll probably be half a dozen or so videos. So.
All right, so go and check Trev's channel up here. It should pop up there somewhere. Yes. All right. This one's from Imagination Tech. I think we've had some of his questions before, or her questions.
Imagine that.
Can you tell me what 3D printer, and we had so many 3D printing questions last time, so Trev's been going crazy with it, but Trev, can you tell me what 3D printer is that in the background? I just got myself a cheap 3D printer and made some rotor gimbal protectors, but what would you and Trev recommend are the top 3 things someone in the hobby should print out if they have a 3D printer? So first of all, quick rundown, what printer is that?
That's a rebadged Wanhao i3 Plus.
Okay. Do you like it?
Yeah, it's a great printer.
10 out, what's your Grumpy Trev rating out of 10?
I'll give that a 9 out of 10.
Okay, so you're a big fan. What about value? Was it expensive?
Oh no, it was really good value for money. You can't, that Aldi, if you ever knows Aldi, we've got Aldi over here, they imported the printers, renamed them their own brand, and sold them for $100 cheaper than what we could buy them from China for, so that was pretty cool.
So value out of 10?
11.
Okay, all right. What are the top 3 things you recommend people to print? We'll take it turn for turn, because in terms of top 3, I'm going to say number 1, print yourself out some TPU GoPro mounts that are really adaptable, different angles. You can just strap them on your quads. What would you recommend to print out, Trev?
GoPro mounts.
Okay.
Yeah, look, there's quite a few things. Look, if you got GoPros, all those other things, Mobiuses, the run cams, all those, you can print out TPU mounts for those and redesign them to whatever you want to do. So they're a must. Yeah,
Yep.
for sure.
Any others? Any other in the top 3?
Oh, look, you can even print out your own soft mounts if you want to for your motors.
For your motors.
And even what do you call those things? Flight controllers as well.
I've seen a lot of people, they print like little XT60 caps they put on the end of their batteries. I don't really do that anymore because I just try to fly them all. And also I'd be printing out some extra battery strap goggle adapters so you can just put any battery in and hang it off your goggle strap.
Well, another good thing too is that those little things covered for the antennas. You know the.
Oh, yep, definitely. Some SMA adapters, sort of, where you can screw your antenna SMA on.
Hand tight them really easy.
Yeah,
and they slip over the top. They were fantastic.
This one's from Kobo VI. Do you recommend the Taranis QX7? Absolutely. I think that is at the moment the best value radio you can buy for 90 bucks, whatever it is. I'll link a video up here and also link it down below. But the standard version of the QX7, it's amazing. That's the radio I fly, and then I just bought some separate gimbals and added them in. But yeah, absolutely, I think the QX7 is the best radio on the market for the money. Trev, would you recommend it?
I can't add to that. That was totally, absolutely.
All right, Jafar Williams, how's it, team? What do the series of bleeps mean when you plug in the battery? My quad isn't doing the second phase of beeps.
Jeez, I thought he was talking about me then.
They're bleeps, not beeps.
Oh.
Where do you start troubleshooting? Do you want me to take this one, or you want to?
You can do that.
When you first plug your battery in, there's like the ESC boot, and then they need to have their, I guess, without getting too technical, they need to also talk to the flight controller. So the second set of beeps means that they're not talking to the flight controller. So they're saying, yeah, we've got some power. Now we're just sort of waiting. And do you want to do the startup tones, Trevor? Give me your best impression. That's not it at all. That's like Super Mario.
Is it? Oh, is it?
I would say it's and that's the old one. This is getting ridiculous, but anyway.
I was bad.
Yeah, the second set of beep. You're the DJ, mate. You got to have these tones on point. The second set means it's just not communicating. It's not ready from your flight controller. So there's sort of check your signal wires, make sure they go into the right places.
Those tones you just did was a flat battery.
Hey guys, seen heaps of videos but can't see any reviews on tricopters. Have you done any? Is there any particular reason you don't fly them? That one's from Jeff Rudiman. Have you done tries? Did you fly tries?
Never tried.
Okay. I know you've done some in the past. Actually,
I've got one over there somewhere.
But that's got 6 blades.
Well, that's a double try.
Okay.
Yeah. No. They're a pain in the ass.
Yeah, all right. I definitely agree. I think the reason we don't fly tries is because that servo on the back, look, they're cool, and from an engineering perspective, it's interesting to see how it works and how it handles, but it's just so much easier and so much less points of failure when using a quad. So that's why we fly quads all the time. I think quads are faster and just better designed for doing what we're doing. They're more robust, they go quicker, they hold up better in crashes, and simpler to build as well. This one's from Easy Target. Okay, this week I want to ask a very real question. What do you guys know of a Yowie, and have you seen one? Is there somebody to look out for while you're flying? Happy flying, easy out. And look, I'm going to kick this one off. You guys seem to be obsessed with Australian animals.
He's not an animal, Yowie.
Yeah. So the Australian animals like the Yowie, we've got the drop bear that we've talked about on the channel. We had blue bottle wasps or ants the other day. Yowies, they're a little bit different. They're sort of, they're pretty rare, but I've never seen one. Have you ever seen one?
Yeah, I have once actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So most of the time people, when they're driving across like the Nullarbor, which is like the desert in Australia, lots of people get stranded out there all the time, and people probably die every year. But if you pull over on the side of the road, these Yowies, they're like attracted for some reason to hot rubber, so they will come in and bite your tires on your car, so then you can really get stranded out there. So the Yowies, they just seem to mow down people's cars, and that's they don't kill them directly, but because they bite their tires, they get into a lot of trouble. So you often see people, they've been driving for ages because they haven't stopped thanks to Yowies. Where did you see yours, Trev?
In the bush.
Okay. All right, do you want me to keep going?
Yeah, keep going.
All right. Phillip EJ, hi. Do you think that I'm reading this. Do you guys think that one can get into this hobby while don't wanting to do or like to doing any soldering whatsoever? So I think you're asking, can you get into the hobby without doing any soldering? Yes, you can. It's called a bite and fly. I really recommend you try soldering because soldering is pretty easy, and but it's not essential. But you need to know it in order to repair, fix up your quads. It's so much better if you can build your own. But if you are absolutely 100% against soldering, you can get drones nowadays that are bite and fly, or ready to fly, I should say, ready to rock and roll. You don't need to do anything. What about you, Trev? Do you think soldering is absolutely doing any soldering whatsoever?
Well, not getting into it, but you're going to have to solder eventually because...
Or spend a lot of money.
Yeah, when you break it, after your first or second flight, you're probably going to have to learn how to solder. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question. In all honesty, what would you say to the time? What would you say the time of the learning curve is if you're flying for about half an hour a day to get to proficient? Thanks for the awesome content, guys. Well, thanks so much, Boggle. So you're going to fly for half an hour a day, and you've never flown before. How long do you think you're like proficient at flying around? You can do a basic course. You're not Speedy Gonzalez. You're not Thomas from BMS Web. You're just proficient on the course. You can get around the UAVfutures test track. Half an hour a day. How long?
Probably a week.
All right. I'm going to say 2 weeks. So.
Yeah, you're slow.
And I would say you could do it with half an hour a week on the simulator. That's going to be much better. The simulator time is much, at least worth double what it's in the real life when you're first starting out. Flying Phoenix FPV. I've been thinking of getting there's so many 3D printing questions. Honestly, I had to stop picking them out. I've been thinking of getting a 3D printer, but it's a bit intimidating. What printer is Trev, and how difficult is it to get started? Startup costs. So, out of 10, how difficult is it to get started, Trev? Because we're not going through what type of printer that is.
It's not hard at all. Look, there's so much help on, just like we're doing now, on YouTube.
Yep.
If you're not too sure, do your homework first on what sort of printer to get. If you go to the right forums, you'll be okay. And everyone's there to help you. It's a very friendly forum, just like YouTube, UAVfutures. So, yeah, it's not hard.
I thought we'd have some more rambling. This one's from Roland B. How's the pit doing? We haven't seen any updates in a while. Good stuff, fellas. Thanks very much, Roland B. We haven't really been flying the pit because we've been out most of the summer. The pit was sort of before the summer came, and we've been flying outdoors as much as we can. But I do think now that you're back, the wind's been really picking up. The weather has been really awful this month. We should start getting there and doing a bit more flying.
Yeah, we haven't. That's the only reason we haven't, because the weather's been too good.
And also the things we've had have been so fast. Like some of the things, they just won't go in the pit. Like
we could, but we don't even
fly once into the roof.
Just go down the straight into the brick wall. straight
into the wall. Another great Q&A. Thanks very much, Raven FPV. Here's my question. Where do you put all that stuff that you review? I put a pegboard up to hold the quads, and it's got full very quick. I see a quad wall is chocker full, but do you store everything? I'm going to check the camera's still recording, and then I come back and answer this question.
Yeah, the red light's still going.
Oh yeah, great. That works out quite well. Yeah, when I turn the screen up. Yeah. Ding! So Raven FPV, the way I do mine, there's a heap of stuff that I post out to my Patreon supporters, so massive shout out to those guys. And we just sent out a big shipment, and big shout out too to the people at the post office. I'll flash a picture on the screen of them because they've become like some of my mates down there when I go there. So shout out to Terry and Jan, and they're probably about your age, Trevor. And very, very, very helpful. And a lot of the stuff I give away a lot of stuff, and then there's kind of a few things that I store that I might use again. So I guess things like some special radios, like I've still got a TBS Tango, anything I think that could possibly come up in the future for another review, or I need to compare that technology, talk about some of the pros and the cons with stuff that's coming out to what we used to have. Anything that I can sort of reuse again, I do store away. But yeah, most of the stuff just goes out to you guys or goes out to some of my mates, and yeah. What about you, Trev? Where do you store your stuff?
In a box over there.
This is everywhere in here. Yeah. Trevor's, you've got more stuff than I do actually in here.
That's just the dead center.
Pile of carbon. G'day guys, love the show, and it's bang on time for my Sunday morning coffee. My question is, what's the worst piece of gear you've been asked to review? What about you, Trev? Because I've got a cracking answer that I got asked today.
I've got to say congratulations, Pile of Carbon. I like that.
Yep.
That's a really cool name.
Well,
what was the question again? What's the worst what?
What's the worst bit of gear you've been asked to review?
It'd have to be those bloody piece of goggles we had. Those Robocopy.
Oh, you're still going on the Glaxus?
They were shit.
Okay.
Absolute shit.
For me, you know what? I got an email today. I'll see if I can flash it still on the screen. And it was, Dear Stuart, actually, I don't think it was personalised, but it said, Dear UAVfutures, would you be interested? We'd love you to review our plug-in-the-wall pest repellent devices, because I know I tell you guys I get asked to review a lot of stuff and a lot of rubbish, and there's also some stuff that I don't even know what they're thinking. They want me to review some, you plug it in the wall, some pest repellent devices.
Well, that'd keep you out of the room.
Yeah. So that's out of all of them, that's probably the worst thing I've ever been asked to review. So I don't know, maybe if it was April Fool's, that might be something just to write back. I don't even know what I would do with that as a joke. Anyway, Smoke Out FPV. What editing software do you use, and what are some good tips to get good quality end product? Well, I'm sorry, Trevor and myself, we cannot help you whatsoever in terms of getting a good quality, refined end product, because our videos, they're out of focus, the sound is off, there's too much wind noise, the lighting's terrible. But I think we do get some genuine content. I think that'd be my biggest tip. And make sure you can speak correctly, but just be yourself, get out there, have some fun, and very quickly, because
wave your arms around.
We've done this in the past quite a bit, but I use Premiere Pro and you use
I don't know. Something studio.
Pinnacle Vegas.
Yeah, Pinnacle Studio.
Yeah, there you go. CTC. So this one's from Dave Lendl, and we're sorry CTC's not here. He's at work, but I'm going to let him off the hook because he was there all the weeks when you've been away, Trev. So you've been the slacker lately. CTC, would you rather fight 100 5-inch drones coming at you, or one 500-inch drone? So Cal, I'll get you to put that, in the comments down below. I'll pin it to the top, see if I can get Cal's response. What about you, Trev? It's life or death. Are you going to fight off 100 5-inch quads coming at you, or one 500-inch quad? They're all going full pelt. They're going full pelt at you. Actually, no, they can. Yeah, well, let's clarify. The 500 ones are expert at pilot, so they're piloted by someone who's very pinpoint accurate, and they're just hammering at you. And the big one, it's just trying to cut you in half.
All right.
And they're skilled too. They're not going full speed, so you can't just jump out of the way. Which one are you going to fight?
Was it 100 or 500?
Would you prefer to fight 100 5-inch drones or one 500-inch
5-inch drones.
Okay.
Yeah. You know why?
Why?
Because they all get interference. We wouldn't be able to see you.
Okay. Well, let's pretend they're line of sight. They're the best world line of sight pilots, and they're coming right at you.
They wouldn't get a line up.
Okay. I would do the same. I would take 100 5-inch drones. I don't want to get hit with a 500-inch roto to just cut you in half. Anyway, very serious question. This one's from Breck Letts. Oh, it's not even a question. Rats, my question never makes the cut. Anyway, we'll move on. This one's from Gary Luke. Hey Stu, I found your doppelganger. You look, and I honestly don't even know who this is. You look like the singer from FEL 65 Blue Dub RD. Awesome. Keep up the great content. Want to have a Google?
He must be ugly.
Let's find out what I'm going to find out.
You couldn't have a twin.
Alright, let me have a look. Look at this for teamwork. What? I don't know which one. Well, obviously, this one's Trevor, this bald looking one. I'll just flash a picture on the screen, but I don't know which one of those.
Nothing.
This one's
Well, that was a waste of time, Stu.
This one's from Skybound FPV. Stu. Actually, it's just with the U, so it's Stu. G'day, mate. Well, g'day. Do you have a recommendation for a beginner wingcraft to get into some plane chase footage? What I do want to fly around is, I'm going to link it down below. What's Tony's one called? It looked really, really stable.
That black thing?
Yeah.
Until he flew it over the roof and crashed it.
Yes.
I don't know what that was.
I'll link it down below anyways. It's sort of some Sonic. It was a Sonic AR wing. That's what it was. Anyway, that looks like a lot of fun. I'm going to build one of those up and fly that around as well. This one's from that guy. Oh well, I don't know what I was going to. I had some joke there, but I'll leave that up to you about that guy. Any tips for waterproofing your drones? Mine took a swim last week and I had to replace the 4-in-1 ESC. And this comes up so often, and I don't really waterproof it. I know you don't. But I wanted to answer it because it does come up all the time in the Q&As that I've missed it so many times. Waterproofing, you can spray some stuff on your ESC. I think it's called conformal coating or something X. There's a special brand, not Corrosion X. Anyway, just cover it with conformal coating, hot glue, epoxy. I think Flight Test has a video too where you can waterproof your ESC.
There's an expert on what do we call that thing?
I don't know, mate. This is yours.
Discord.
Okay.
Just ask Enox.
Enox.
Yeah,
all right.
He flies around in snow and
yep. Enoch
He
FPV.
does all his stuff. He does a great job of it.
And he's always on the Discord. Jump on there. The link should be down below. He will happily guide you through how. We should ask him how he sets it up.
When you first get a drone, don't fly near water because they're like a magnet. And if you want a puddle this big when you land in it.
Hi Stu, GTC and PTC.
Who?
PTC. Phantom Test Cal.
Oh.
Just wondering if you'll end up doing some build videos on long distance or longer than track races. Are you going to do any long distance builds?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not really. The only thing, maybe I'd do like a crossfire setup if I was getting into that. But most of the stuff, when people always ask me, Stuart, why don't you do more build videos? Do another build video. And the reason that I don't do them very often is because they're so similar. You're just changing out the components. Instead of using this motor, well, you're going to use this motor, but they still go together the same way. So unless something is drastically different, then that's why I don't do as many build videos.
Extremely time consuming.
Yeah, they take about 4, 5, 6, up to 10 times longer than a normal video. So anyway, this one's, who was that from? That was from Ken Faulkner. The Roger General. Thank you for putting in brackets how to actually pronounce your name, because I wouldn't know how to do that without, your little hyphens there. You guys are great. Thanks for all you do for us noobs. I'm from California and I'm new to the channel, but I want to say that I've become a Patreon supporter because I love your passion for the hobby. Well, thank you so much, mate. I really couldn't do this channel without your support. So because of you, I can do this full time. I can make as much content as I do and share this hobby of FPV. So I'm really happy that you're excited to get flying and my videos have helped you. You talk so much about the quads themselves. Are there any tools that are essential to the hobby that we should get to make life easier? Essential tools.
Essential tools. Yeah, well, there's...
That make your everyday quad life easier.
Well, you need a pair of side cutters. You need some Allen keys.
Yep. Or hex drivers,
yeah,
I think you call them in the US.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Probably a Phillips head screwdriver and a small flat one.
Yep.
We've had occasions we've had to use those. Probably a pair of scissors come in handy. What else we have?
Something that I always take, it's not essential, but I think it's good quality, is the TS100 portable soldering iron. You can power it off your lipos. That's very handy.
Yeah, and a good wrench to get your...
Yeah, absolutely. A little socket wrench so you can get your props on easily. Yeah. Although I have been liking Cal's one that's just a straight driver. I've been finding that pretty useful.
You don't need a lot of tools, so you just carry the basics and that'll get you through.
A little solder station that's got a heat gun attached to it that pumps out some hot air. I've been really enjoying using that. I used to use my wife's hairdryer and she'd kind of get a bit grumpy at 1 in the morning when I'd crank it on and...
Aren't they talking about going out in the field?
No, just general, just essential tools.
Oh, okay.
To make life easier.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, moving on. This one's from Pete078. Hey guys, brilliant Q&A. When you first started flying, how did you feel like you was progressing slowly, or did it just eventually click?
Stu's never been slow.
Oh, I reckon I was at the start.
Oh yeah.
Well, I feel slow now versus Granger. He seems really quick. But
Granger can beat him now.
Do you feel like it just clicked, or was it slow progression, or what about working? When you're working it through?
Oh, I think I got faster when I met you, actually.
Yep, definitely. Flying with better people helps improve your skills.
I didn't say you were better.
Faster. Flying with people who are faster on the track doesn't help does help improve your skills. But there is a moment when it clicks. You stop stressing about how to actually control the quad, and you just get to sort of be the quad, and it's a really, really magical time when it clicks. You fly. It's doing what you want. It feels really special. You feel free, and it's the greatest feeling. So there will be that time, and you will just over time get better the more stick time you put in as well.
I just worked something out actually after listening to you. I didn't realise that.
What?
After
This is going to be a good joke. Here we go.
You can be the
Get
quad.
ready, get ready. What is it?
You said you be the quad.
Yeah.
That's why you never so many headaches when you hit the trees.
Terrible. Okay, we're just going to move on. Good one, Granddad. This one's from FPV Multi-Rotor. Hey Stu, love the channel. My question for about the next Q&A is how do you stay so positive about this hobby? You are inspirational. I would love to win a prize. I'm just getting into this hobby. Well, I'm hoping you're saying those kind of things because...
Well, sucking up doesn't work.
But the way I stay so positive about this channel, I'm really glad that I'm inspirational for people out there because that's the whole idea about this channel. To get you guys flying. You might not be flying yet, but I want to show you how easy, how fun it is. You can get out. You can take this kit, you can get out and get flying. In terms of staying so positive, well, it's easy when you've got such good mates to hang out with. And the feeling I get, from FPV is... it's like next level. It's like nothing else, and a big reason is because of you guys. Like, you're the inspiration, Trevor. You're the inspiration for me to make this content. So the emails that you write back.
Jeez, I hate those questions.
God, the emails that you write to me, and I read them, and you know, there's stuff about getting fathers and sons and teenagers who don't want to hang out with their parents, but they're bonding over flying and those things. That's really inspirational to me to get you flying.
You know he gets excited when he starts talking.
Anyway, we're going to move on because Trevor's going to keep teasing me. But yeah, I'm glad you can see that I'm inspirational about it because I really love this hobby.
Thought he was going to start crying again.
Prize question: has Trevor ever tried to polish his head? He looked pretty fresh with that sarong. What about you, Trev? Did you get a haircut today?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you do it yourself?
No. She's a shine guy with him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're looking sharp, mate.
So, who was that?
That was from Jackson Darnley.
Did you hear that, Jackie? I'll turn it up for you.
Did you know someone else that got a haircut today, Trevor? Looking very dashing, dapper.
No?
Oh, don't worry about it, mate. Your poor wife. This one's from Rico, Scotland. I think, did I miss one? No, we're ready to rock and roll. Hey Stu and the gang, I can't help but notice you always seem to have magic weather for videos in Australia. Well, not lately. I live in Scotland and I don't seem to get a break from the high winds and extreme weathers. I think we really have had a good summer and a good winter, but the last month has been really terrible. How many times have you been there, Trev?
Scotland?
Yeah.
Probably 3 times now.
Alright, and you went to Thailand when you were 2 years old, yeah?
Yeah.
There's going to be so many people scratching their head.
Makes me a good pile.
Yeah. This one's from JTB FPV, and that's Curtis and Granger. I hope you enjoyed that little joke. 3 important points. 1, this one's from JT FPV, and I've got to read this very clearly, so I'm going to put it on the screen just because it was really important about what we're saying about Joshua Barwell and all those sorts of things. So let me read this sort of thing. Stuart, I really think you make great jokes on the internet. They are hilarious. Joshua Barwell is lucky to have you as such a good friend. That joke was fantastic, and Carl with the speed gun is my favourite thing to watch ever. Keep it up. You guys are so funny. I love what you're doing for the hobby. Thanks very much, JTB FPV. Thanks so much. We're going to move on. This one's from Frozen Tech. Stu, Cal and Trev, maybe if he's around, well, it should be the other way. It's kind of like Trev's not been here. Why do you host the show at Trev's house and not in your fancy new studio? Also, DJ Trev, release some free music so we can put them in our videos. Why do we film it here?
Because he won't let me and Cal down there.
What? You're more than welcome to come over, mate.
You've been there for 2 months and that's the first time we've had an invite.
When? Get out. You pretty much live in my house. Can I have a cuppa? Can I have a cuppa? I think it's just easier here because, you know, the stuff's set up. It's nice to... I film in my house all the time. It is nice to go to a different environment. And this feels like the Q&A headquarters. When you come here, there's just so much cool stuff where we can sit down, have a cuppa.
And Stu talks very loud as well. He doesn't want to wake up the neighbours. We're a bunker here.
We really are. We really are. We could go there and there'd been a bomb that'd been let off, and we wouldn't even hear it down here in the survival shelter. Deco4477, Stu, if you were granted one drone-related wish, here's a good one, Trevor. Would you rather have small, and this is for you guys too. I'm going to put a little poll up here, so go and click on this. There's 2 options. Would you rather have smaller batteries and they're going to last for 20 minutes? Or would you rather VTXs that work, you know, it's kind of the same but they're digital, so you can have as many pilots as you want. So they're digital FPV, but it's just pretend our VTXs now, it's all digital. You can have as many pilots as you want, or do you want batteries that last 20 minutes and smaller? You can only have one, and the other one's never going to exist. Which one it's going to be?
I'd rather have the batteries.
Would you?
Yeah.
You selfish jerk. I want digital FPV. I would be happy to have my 2-minute flights. You know, 20-minute flights would be great, but I'm probably going to crash before that. I want my digital FPV so I can have everyone getting together. No, you've said your piece, mate.
No,
flying around.
You know why that'd be good? Because I'd still be able to fly with this because I'm the only one on analog, and I'll be still flying for 20 minutes while you're still changing your batteries.
Okay, well, that works for you.
And I can still fly with those other guys, so I win.
But I would prefer all those pilots together for me, you know, that's...
But I'd still be there.
Yeah, that's fine, but I think to get as many... You could still fly, but all these other pilots coming, they couldn't if they're not on it. I want digital FPV where we can all fly together, you know. Imagine, like,
I don't have
30
to have 4
pilots.
batteries for the day.
Yeah, that'd be pretty... That would be cool, but so would digital FPV. What do you guys think? Hit that poll up. Lee Hoti...
Why do you always pick out these names?
Hi, Flapper Stew. Not so grumpy these days, Trev, and sporadically appearing Crash Test Cal. For all the freestyle pilots and racers that use a GoPro Sessions, do you think there is anything on the market or on the horizon to replace the GoPro Session as the go-to drone camera? It feels scary flying that, a $200 drone with a $200 GoPro strap to it. Anything cheaper? What are you going to replace your GoPro with? Is there anything to replace the GoPro with?
Oh.
Trevor just stopped listening, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
then.
no, I'm a bit over GoPros. I'd have to have a look around.
Mm-hmm. Why is that?
Well, mine broke really easy.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm ready for a rant.
Pretty pissed off with that, so they're overpriced and they're nothing fantastic.
Yeah,
so.
I feel like I only use them because there's no other great options out there. I'd love to move away to something cheaper. I think they're overpriced. But they're kind of unreliable. I always seem to have charging issues, or mine gets really hot for some reason. It's been replaced already with a brand new one, so I don't know what's going on. The Runcam 3, I think, or the Cube, if you can get it, was okay, but they can't sell that in the US. But have a look around. But you're kind of all out of luck in terms of getting a good... The Foxeer Cube is out there too.
Yeah, I think there's going to be more stuff coming out now, but GoPros are just overpriced in my opinion.
Yeah, but... I think they do the job the best at the moment for what they're in terms of options.
And their
that you
backup
have.
sucks, especially over here. I know it's okay in the
States. Yeah, it's in Australia it's terrible. JVFPV, hey, shout out to the whole crew. But Stu, how do you have so much trouble pronouncing everybody's names when you were a teacher? Weren't you a teacher? Well, it seems I also have trouble reading sentences. Lots of love. Keep up the great work, JVFPV or Javi. I'm getting self-conscious. Mate, you guys are so... They pick up everything. How my haircuts, my sarongs, my t-shirts, my short shorts, my dog shirts, how I pronounce words. But
how you can't pronounce words.
Yeah, how I can't pronounce words. But I would guess say I just don't speak good England. So, don't know.
Yeah. So you want me to answer that question? What was his name?
Javi FPV.
That's for you.
Okay, thanks, Jim. I'll tell you a bit of a funny story actually. You know, sometimes you would feel really bad to the kids at school. You teach them in your grade. You've had them for like 7, 8, 9 weeks, and then you say something like, "Oh, Bob, can you go do this?" He goes, "My name's Bill." You're like, "I know, I'm just getting you confused with the other kid." And you genuinely did just get him confused, and you're trying to tell this kid, "No, I really know what your name is. I just got you confused. You're making all these excuses." And you can tell on that kid's face, he's like, "You don't know my name."
Yeah, but you used to, every time they used to ask for you, you say, "Mr. UAVfutures."
No, they didn't even know that I did YouTube. Actually, that's the last question. So big shout out to everybody who put their questions in. The next one's my wife doing the vacuuming. I just took a photo of her doing that for some reason. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Subscribe for more FPV related content. Usually we pick a prize to sort of give away or pick a question to give out. But if you put one in this week, kind of bad luck because we just didn't get one this week, so we don't have one. But I do want to say for next week. Put your questions and comments down below, and also in the Discord, we want to see your best UAVfutures meme of Grumpy Trev, myself, or Crash Test Cal, the gang. We had that one on the screen of us being the Three Stooges. That was classic. We've also had Disco Trev. I'm going to do a bit of a shout out to some of the best memes we've seen on the Discord. So I'll make a little separate channel when this video goes up. You'll be able to put your memes in there. We're going to pick one out for the best.
We should have a giveaway on Discord one night.
Alright, yeah, let's do a live one.
Yeah, a live
Something
one.
like that. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that. Subscribe for more FPV related content. Go check out Trevor's channel. And as always,
Bye.
happy flying. What did you tell me to do this afternoon?
We were out flying today, and I said, Stu, for the Q&A tonight, don't forget to charge the batteries.
Yep.
Well, he was a good boy, and he charged the batteries. But guess where the batteries are? They're at Stu's place. And guess where we are? We're at Grubby Trev's place.
Yeah.
So we've got a battery that's going to last us 5 minutes.
Yeah. I felt so good too. I charged one up. I was ready to rock and roll, but it's still sitting at home.
Can't get good help.